Hi, welcome to the 26th episode of the New England Gal Knits podcast. I am Janet and I live in Massachusetts with my husband, our two boys, our cat, and our dog. You can find me on the internet at the New England Gal. I am most active on Instagram. I unfortunately seem to have fallen off the face of the earth when it comes to Ravelry, and I really need to start updating all of my projects. I do have some time over the next few weeks. I'm hoping to take an online photography course. If anyone's taken any or have any recommendations, if you could let me know, I'd love to hear from you what courses you have taken and any recommendations that you may have. So it's been a while since I've last podcast and I really feel like a fish out of water right now. So hopefully this is not too awkward. I've had a lot of things going on right now and there's just some changes and they're good changes. Everything is going to be good and positive and I'm excited for what the future holds. And with it being Thanksgiving in 2 days here in the United States, I am just very grateful for my family and my friends, and I am a very lucky girl. So now that I've gone off on that tangent, let me share with you what I have. I do have, because it's been a while, quite a bit, and I also have had a bit of cast-on-itis. You know what? Knitting is my hobby and it brings me joy. So there were days where I just was not feeling anything I was knitting, so I cast it on something else, and that is okay. It'll eventually all get done, and you know what? It made me happy, and that is all that's important. So I guess actually let me start off with what I am wearing, because I am wearing a hand knit. So this is the Rosemont Cardigan by Hannah Fede, and it is knit out of a Blue Moon fiber in their Tarhi base, and it's the Cranberry Bog colorway, and I love this sweater. It's comfortable, it's warm, it's cozy. Right now it is raining in 33 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is quite chilly and raw out, and this is keeping me toasty warm. I'm just curled up on the couch all day. Let me jump into my finished objects, and I have quite a few all small projects. I'm going to start, I think, with the items that have been on my needle the longest and work up from there. So my first finished object, it's a pair of socks that I started at the beginning of August, and they just got completed last weekend. So these are a pair of vanilla socks, and they are knit in self-striping yarn from Luna Purl, and here is her tag, and it is the Atomic Mermaid color. And the base, it is 25% nylon and then 75% Superwash BFL. I love the way these came out. They are so cheery, and I can't wait to put them on. I think I'm going to, I did start a box of socks. I am not going to get up to 12, which is okay. However, it is nice. I'll probably have about 10 by the end of the year, so it is still nice to start off the new year with 10 brand new socks to be able to put into my collection. So that is my first finished object. My second finished object is another pair of vanilla socks. These are Shortie socks. And these, again, I think I started mid to late August and finally got these off the needles as well. So here they are. And I know someone had asked what pattern I use for my Shortie socks, and I don't use any particular pattern. I do a toe-up sock. I always do my socks either, if it's a US 1 2.25 millimeter, I do 64 stitches, and if it is, I have the Addie's US 1, but it's a 2.5 millimeter, and in that case I would do 56 stitches. So I just do toe up, I do an afterthought heel, then I knit for 10 rounds above where the heel is going to go, and then I do a whatever ribbing. These in particular, I just wanted to do a twisted rib. I typically do a 2x2 rib is my favorite type of ribbing for socks. And I do about 10 rows for the ribbing as well on my Shortie socks, and they seem to stay up okay. I find the afterthought heel is the best. I find if I do a heel flap and gusset or a fish lips kiss heel, they don't stay up as well for me, but again, everyone's foot's different. So these were knit out of dark wave fiber in her Suncoast colorway, and here is her tag. And these are an 80% superwash merino and 10% nylon base. And I love the way these came out. It's too bad I didn't finish them in the summer or in September when it was warm and I was wearing shorter socks, but they'll be put away and used come next summer and will come in very handy. The next two finished objects that I have are both Christmas presents, and both of them are for my nieces. I have two nieces. One is a 4-month-old. So for her, I finished, my brother and sister-in-law are huge Star Wars fans, and I had showed my brother this pattern and he fell in love with it and he's like, we need this hat for her. So I knit her, this is a Yoda Baby Hat. It is a free hat. It is by, I have my show notes over here. Maybe I should have them closer so I can look. Shinah Chang, I believe, is the name of the designer, and again, it is free on Ravelry. I knit this. This is Wool of the Andes in the avocado color. However, the hat called for bulky yarn, and all I had was the worsted, so I just held the yarn double, and it took less than 50 grams to knit the hat, which was perfect. So I'm really trying to go through my stash for Christmas presents. So I had this yarn on hand, so I just, like I said, held it double, took less than 50 grams, and it's adorable. I love the way it came out. And then my last finished object is a hat for my older niece who just turned, I have to think about this. She just turned 9. Yes, 9. It's funny. She and my younger son are a year apart in school, but because my son missed the cutoff, he's technically 2 years older than her, so I have to kind of think about it every once in a while for a second, but she just turned 9. And here is the hat I knit her. This is just, I used Purl Soho's classic cuff hat. Again, it's free. It's supposed to be a fold-up cuff. However, I don't know about you guys, but there are days I can't stand ribbing, and that was how I was feeling this day. So I just did about 2 inches of ribbing and then went into the hat, and I made it so it will be slouchy. And then this pom-pom I saw, so this is Pompom is a Fab Unit, and I'll link her Ravelry store below, and I picked up a couple other things that I'll show you, but she posted this pom-pom on Instagram, and I thought it went perfectly with this hat, and my niece she'll love it. She's very colorful, loves unicorns, so this is just right up her alley, and I couldn't help it. And then the yarn, the hat is knit out of Toil and Trouble, and it is a yarn that's actually hand dyed in Salem. And when I went to Salem with my friend back in October, I had picked up this yarn. It is the Cadance base, which is a 100% superwash merino base, and it is in the Snapdragon color, and I'm very happy with the way this knit up and came out, and I think I hope she loves it. I showed pictures to my my twin brother, it's his daughter, and he loved it, so hopefully she will too. So that is it for all of my finished objects. I am not even sure where to start with all of my works in progress. And I have multiple projects and multiple bags, so let me start with, you know what, I'll start with the sweaters, because I normally like to only knit one sweater at a time. And I still have 2 sweaters that I've started on the needles that I haven't even touched in 6 months that I really would like to see done shortly. But like I said, I was in the mood just to cast on some new projects. So I have in my chicken boots project bag here, I love this bag, I have the Larch sweater. Let me show you the pattern. So it is a pattern by Pam Allen out of her Plain and Simple book, and here is a picture of it. And I believe I had showed this to you last time when I talked about things I had wanted to knit. So I had picked up from Knit Picks, it's their Simply Wool, and it's in the Wilhelmina color. And here is what I have so far. So it is a bottom-up sweater, and I've started this much. I also, instead of doing a swatch gauge, so the sweater has pockets in it. So it has you knit the pockets first. So that's kind of what I did, used as my swatch gauge. So I have both pockets already knit and ready to go when I get to the point that I need to add them in. It is my first time knitting pockets, so I'm excited about that. I love a good pocket. I don't know what it is, pocket in skirts, pockets in dresses, in sweaters. I just absolutely love having pockets, and I may not use them, but I like to know they're there just in case. So I've gotten quite a bit done. It's a tunic, so I do have a while to knit on the body, but I'm making good progress. I did have to go up 2 needle sizes. The pattern called for a size 7, and to get gauge I had to go up to a size 9. So I'm hoping, because it's on such a large needle, that it will knit up quickly. So that is the first sweater I'm working on. The second sweater I'm housing in my field bag by Fringe Supply Company, and this is their plaid wax canvas one. I love this sweater. I'm not going to try and say the name of it. It's by Fibertail, and I'm going to put the name right here, but I don't want to mess it up at all. So I did make a mistake, and I have to go back 2 rows and fix it, but that is okay. I will get there. So here is, I'm still working, so this is a top down one, and I am still working on the yoke. I am having so much fun knitting this. It was the first time I've knit bobbles, and it is the first time I've knit a lateral braid. And again, I'm just having so much fun with this. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I am knitting this out of Brooklyn Tweed Loft in the Snowbound color. And I love working with this. And I know some people say it's difficult to work with, or that it's so loosely spun that it rips and breaks easily, but I have not had any problems with it at all, and I'm I'm enjoying it, but I hate tinking back, and the thought of tinking back 2 rows, and at first I was just going to take the needle out, rip back 2 rows, and put the needle back on, but there is a row of increases right before I have to go back, so it's just going to be easier for me to just tink back, and I will get there. That is a project for tomorrow. I'm gonna say, I have a feeling I'm gonna say, oh yes, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and tomorrow is gonna be a crazy day. So that is it for my sweaters. I am also, and I think I had shared this in my last podcast, but I have a almost half finished object here. So this is the first mitten of the Pumpkin Spice Mittens by Reindeer Knits, and it is almost all complete except for I'm missing the thumb. And I am hoping up here, I was using double pointed needles. I think I might have been better off doing the magic loop. I may try that with the second one, and I'm hoping this will block out okay because it is kind of bunchy. But other than that, I'm very happy with the way these are turning out. I have not started the second one yet. I will get to that shortly. I do not have any colorwork mittens, and I have a feeling because of the colorwork and the two yarns being carried behind, feeling they're going to be super warm, and I'm so excited to get these done. But I have a ton of Christmas knitting. I'd like to get one of the sweaters. I'd love to get both of the sweaters done before Christmas, but I'd like to get at least one done for my Christmas sweater. So these will kind of be put to the side until all my Christmas knitting is done. But I am knitting these out of a Knit Pick's palette, and in the Marsala colorway, and then the cream. Alright, and then for my next work in project, I am working on the Reindeer Bobak, and this is by Jenny Nicole. I'm looking up here. Yep, Jenny Nicole, and this is being, I have the balaclava done, and I have both ears done. I did some changes on the ears because I wasn't crazy. I followed the pattern. I wasn't crazy for the way the ears came out, so I tried doing something different, and I'm not sure I'm crazy about the way these came out either. I have a whole skein here left. I'm knitting out of Lion Brand Woolies Quick and Thick and Quick in the barley colorway. So I'm hoping to play around with these to get them the way I want them to look. If not, I've got plenty of yarn to redo it. And then I have just the antlers to do, and I'm going to stick a finished a picture of it in here so you can see it finished. So, and this will be for my 4-month-old niece. However, I am knitting the toddler version because I figure for next year, for winter, right before Christmas, she'll have it done. So, and this was quick. I had this done and I did the Yoda hat all in one day. Plus I worked on a pair of socks as well. Alright, so now I just have socks left to show. So I will go ahead and start with, I have a half finished object for socks, and let me get this on here. Alright, and it's crooked. Here we go. And here is the first finished sock. I am so in love with this yarn. This yarn it's by Retrosaria in her Mondim color, Mondim base. And the color is, I have the tag here. So the color is 207. And it's 100% Portuguese wool. I love the way this feels. I have another colorway of hers, and I want to say this is probably one of my favorite sock yarns. So I have this done, and then I have a good chunk of the foot for the second sock completed, and I love the way this is knitting up. And it's so, they're gonna be super warm. It's not super soft, but it's not, I don't want to say it's scratchy either. It just feels sturdy. It feels tough and sturdy. And I think these are gonna be the perfect sock. And again, for the heel, I did use Lion brand Sockies in that cream color. I have 100 gram skein of it, and I figure I just like having that contrast pop on the sock. So that is one of the pairs of socks I am working on. The second pair of socks I am working on is my Christmas socks. And these, here we go, and got yarn everywhere, there we go. So the yarn, I love this yarn too. I have to say, between this and the Retrosaria yarn, these two are just the most ideal sock yarn out there, at least for me and what I like. So this is a Once Upon a Corgi, and it's her Peppermint Mocha colorway on her Merry Cutie base, and it is a 75% Superwash Corridale and 25% nylon. I love the way this is knitting up. So far there is no pooling whatsoever. The pattern I'm using for this is the Vanilla Latte sock pattern. And then I also have, this is from Sugar Tots. It was one of her little Christmas charms last year, and it is this adorable Peppermint Mocha narwhal, which just goes perfectly with the sock, and I am so happy. I had this done in a day. I love this pattern. It is simple. It's only 2 rows. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's only a 2-row repeat, but it is so simple to follow and so much fun. And it kind of, sometimes you're looking for something different from a vanilla sock, yet you don't want to think too much, and this is the perfect pattern. And I can't wait to get these done. So that is my second sock that I am working on, and I just realized, out of all of the stuff I have in front of me, I do not have my last pair of socks that I'm working on, so hold on one moment, I'm going to go grab them. This is what happens when you have too many works in progress. You can't keep track of them all. So this last work in progress is a gift knit for my younger brother, and it is a pair of socks. He's been bugging me for a pair of socks for a while, so I decided to go ahead and reluctantly cast them on. He has size of 14 feet. They're massive. So it's going to take me quite a while to get these done. But here is what I have so far. So this is the first leg I have done. And I do have my little, I love this, my little Mulan Progress Keeper. And this is by my beloved Adora. And I have started on the second leg, and the yarn is Knit Picks Felici in the Ice Cream Truck colorway. So we are on Friday going to see Fantastic Beasts in the theater. I'm hoping I can get the heel put on to this one and maybe work on the foot during the movie. If not, I'll bring my Mondim sock that I'm working on and work on the foot on that. But I'm hoping to be able to bring this to the theater. If not, we're going in a couple weeks to New York City, if the weather's not bad. So I can always work on these on the car ride there, because it's a 3-hour ride one way. So it's 6 hours in the car. So I should be able to get a good chunk of that done then, if I don't get to bring those to the theater. So that is it for everything I have been working on. I say that is it like it's barely anything. Those are all of my works in progress, which have been quite a few. So I don't have any sewing to show you. However, I am working on a cross stitch, and this is a gift for my brother and his husband. And here is a picture of the pattern. It's by Nikki Pattern, and it is Harry Christmas. They're both huge Harry Potter fans. So here is what I have so far, and I'm just using a 14 count Aida cloth in the oatmeal color because there's obviously going to be a lot of white, so I wanted the white to be able to stand out against the cloth. And I love this little needle keeper. I did just get this with one more thing I'll show you during acquisitions, but this is by Simply Serving, her little cookie needle keeper. So I am plugging away best I can on this as well. And that is everything I've been working on. So I guess let me share with you a couple. I purchased actually quite a bit of things over the last few weeks. So I did do some dyeing. Let me start with dyeing. And I had purchased some DK weight yarn undyed from Knit Picks. Here it is here. And then I wanted to knit myself another Tecumseh sweater. And I wanted it to be blue, the body to be blue, the crosses to be gold, and then the arrows to be white. So this is what I have dyed up, and I'm very pleased with the way these came out. My one complaint is with the gold. So I mix the colors. I have a book that tells you how to mix colors to get different ones, and they both basically between yellow, magenta, blue, turquoise blue, and is it black? You do different mixes to get different colors, but I found the blue kind of separated in the gold. I don't know how well you can see that. So there is some blue there. I wish it was a more solid gold, but I'm happy with it. It is something I can say that I, dyed and knit up myself. So I am excited. Once I get some of my other sweaters off the needles and done, I will cast this on. So I did go a few weeks back to the New England Fiber Festival, which is held in Springfield, Massachusetts. I did pick up quite a bit, although some of it will be Christmas gifts for me from my mother-in-law. So she has the majority of the things I had picked out, and I'll share that with you once Christmas has happened. But I did end up treating myself to a skein of, I love the smell of this, Foxhill Fiber. This is her Cormo DK weight. It's so soft and squishy, and it's gray is the color. And then I only picked up one skein. It was a treat. I am going to make I think it's called the Kodak by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knits. And I went online to find some mohair to go with this, and I found this beautiful skein from the Golden Purl, and I can't stand living with these two pigs. It's this beautiful mauve. So this will end up being a hat, and I think I may cast it on sooner rather than later. And especially, you know what, Thanksgiving is supposed to be really cold, and I have the day off tomorrow. Maybe I could even get through it tomorrow. And that I've filmed this, I've been holding off on skein this up. But I may do that tomorrow. Skein it up tonight and start knitting it tomorrow. So that is one of my purchases. Then, like I had mentioned with my niece's hat, I saw that rainbow pom-pom from Fab Units and fell in love with it. So I did, because you can't just buy one thing when you order online. So I ended up buying a black pom-pom, which I think I have a whole bunch of her pom-poms. They're my favorite pom-poms in the whole entire world. They're beautiful. So maybe with this, although there's another thing I purchased that I think this is what it's gonna go with. We'll see. So I picked up a black one of her pom-poms, as well as one of her skeins of yarn, and this is Pheasant, and it's her 75-25 base. My dog is talking to me. What's up, Lego? Do you want to come up here? You want to come up here? Or are you just going to stare at me and bark? Come here. Hi. You want to come up? Say hello? Do you want to come up and say hello? He doesn't want to come up and say hello. Anyways, I love this. It's got plums and turquoise and rust. It is absolutely stunning. So I picked those up from Fab Units when I picked up the rainbow pom-pom. And then I was watching Kristen Lear, and she had knit a hat out of, this is the fiber company Acadia. And what is it's silk, alpaca, and merino blend. It is nice and squishy, and she knit a hat in it. So I decided I was going to pick up some, because I don't know if it's being discontinued, but it was on sale. So I picked up 2 of them to make a hat, and actually looking at it now, I think the black pom-pom would be perfect for this. So I think that is what I'm going to do. This will definitely be a hat. And my dog keeps talking to me, but he doesn't want to come up. So this one keeps bothering me, so I thought maybe if I brought him up here and gave him some attention, he'll stop barking. Will you stop barking? Hi. This is Lego. For anyone, he's made a couple small appearances, but normally he sits at my feet while I podcast. Right? Anyways, I'm not quite sure where I was. I think I was talking about Michael's was having a sale on yarn. So I also just picked up some Patton's Croy sock yarn just to do heels, toes, and cuffs. So I picked up the flax color, as well as, this is Gentry Gray. There it goes. And then last but not least, I'm extremely excited about these. So I did knit 2 of Ani and Carlos's Christmas balls, and I will put a picture in so you can see it. I've already given them away to some friends, but I decided I was using Patton's Classic Worsted for it, and they came out great, but they were on the larger side, so I thought I'd pick up some yarn to knit some smaller ones with, and I picked up Rama Fino Garn, and I have no idea what colors it is because it is in a different language. And I'm not quite sure. I think this is 138 and this one is 427. Although that could be the dye lot. I will put it right here because I have no idea, but anyways, I picked these up from the Woolly Thistle, and I cannot wait to start knitting some Christmas balls with these. I love the colors. So that was my purchases. I did a lot of damage over the last few weeks. Oh, that is not, I take it back. That is not all of my purchases. I also was Simply Serving when I had picked up the Needle Keeper. I also picked up, here we go. Hopefully you guys can see it. So this is Ron's sweater, Weasley sweater. Progress Keeper by Simply Serving as well. I just think that's absolutely adorable. So that now finishes up all of my goodies that I have purchased, and this may end up going on one of my sweaters pretty quickly. And so that is about all I have to share with you guys. It has been, like I said, there's just a lot that has been going on here and trying to get everything into place and work a few things out, and I'm taking a deep breath and I am relaxing and I'm going with the flow of things. So over the last few months, I'm trying to think of anything we really did, but it hasn't been. It's been busy with Boy Scout, there was a Boy Scout fundraiser last week. We did have friends over for a cheese and wine party, and that was always, we had it over last Saturday, which was great. It was like a kickoff to the holiday season with Thanksgiving being right around the corner, and it was a very nice evening. And really, we just had a great time. Had some wine, had some cheese, and just sat back and relaxed. And then there was, like I said, the fundraiser for the Boy Scouts. There was a meat raffle for that. And other than that, it has really not been a whole lot. ESPN is alerting my son of something. I have no idea where his phone is or where that's coming from. I am sorry. This is really a haphazard podcast, and I do apologize about being all over the place. And I think on that note, I am going to let you guys go. And again, thank you so much to everybody who has joined me, who has subscribed, who has liked it. If you are a first-time viewer and you enjoy the podcast, please consider subscribing and liking it. And thank you all very, very much. And for everybody in the United States, I hope you all have a wonderful and safe and happy Thanksgiving. I hope I will see you soon. Anyways, have a great 2 weeks ahead. Bye.